Are you guys ready to make DVD menus? Are you ready? Well, you better get ready, because it's happening right now. Step 1, you kind of gotta design the interface in the GIMP. The beginning steps of this, I gotta say, are pretty succinct. Basically, you need to build layers in the GIMP to a certain specification size and square pixel equivalents. Then you have to break apart these layers you put together in the GIMP and load them into Kdenlive and animate them. After you've animated them, then you compress the files down to MPEG-2 and load them into the menu builder. Several steps to this, so we're going to try to break it down as evenly as we can. So, here's part 1. When you're working with graphics for video, you really have to use the square pixel equivalent. NTSC, that's 854 by 480 versus 720 by 480. PAL, 1024 by 576 versus 720 by 576. This gives you kind of an idea where we're working. I have guides set up around the edges to show the TV safe area, which is about 10% of the picture. So I usually put guides set on 90% and 10% on height and width, and that usually gives me a pretty damn good TV safe zone. At that point, just keep in mind that the back layer has to be removed and replaced by video if you want it to be an overlay. So don't really get attached to the back video specifically. Kind of design it to handle multiple backgrounds. Alright, what you got here is pretty straightforward. You have each one of these boxes here, which is video 1 and video 2. So you guys just remove each layer. This, of course, is the layer I made in the GIMP. And just to give you an idea here, you have the ability to move these boxes around. Let me go to first frame. As you can see, I have the grip tool. I can move this anywhere I want. You get the idea. You have your measurement tools and whatnot. Build your menu as you see fit. Okay, so I've loaded the stereo 2048 MPEG-4 into AVI-DMux. This is the program we're going to use to convert our movie. As you can see, it's gorgeous. And I just want to point out this is half resolution. First thing we're going to do is we're going to choose the MPEG-2 codec. Now they have the MPEG-2 Inc. versus the AV codec, which is essentially FFmpeg. We're not going to use this one. This one used to be better, but now anymore, all it really does is, well, for me anyways, crash AVI-DMux. So, choose that one, and we're going to go here on this pull down here, under, oh yeah, click configure by the way. The pull down, we're going to do 2-pass average bitrate. This will ensure us the best quality picture. Change the average bitrate to about 6,000, that's what I usually do, and max bitrate to about 8,000. This is where it's going to target to hit the bitrate, and you don't want to break much of a ceiling there because we're close to our our 8500 ceiling. At this point, we do the pull down to 16:9. Now, if you notice though, this picture is wider than a widescreen image. So what we're going to do, when we go to filters, first thing obviously we resize it to a 720 width. But we're going to do a 360 height, even though the height is supposed to be 480. But there's a method of my madness here. We're going to go ahead and hit that preview. Just zoom in here, 1:1 ratio. Alright, now see how it looks a little stretched up and down? That's because this is non-square pixel preparation. Because in the real width of this would not be 720 but 853. But non-square pixels, you have to compensate. But the beautiful thing is, by going down here and add black borders, 60 on the top, 60 on the bottom, bam,
we hit our 720 by 480. Now again, like I said, this looks out of aspect, but real quick just to show you. So now, for example, if we go to the resize of the width from 720 to 854, because you can't do it with 3, you look at it, and it's in the proper aspect. But this is no longer compliant to a DVD. So we restore it back to 720. This gives us the finished size of 720 by 480, which we need for NTSC. Now, the audio, very easy. Pull down to AC3, which is the most used audio. I use 192 or 224. 192 seems to do pretty good. Then pull down to an MPEG PS. If you look at the configuration, there's settings for Super CD, Video CD, Super Video CD, and DVD. We want DVD, obviously. That's the default when you select MPEG 2. Alright, now we hit save. That's all there is to it. Oh, wait, almost forgot. Filters. This is not a true 23.976 frame. This one's 24 exactly, which is non-compliant. So 23.976, and hit blend. That'll get rid of the jumpiness. Close that down, and then we hit save, and then it starts doing its thing. Sintel.mpg. Save. No. There you go.
Alright, so here we are with the DVD styler running. First thing we're going to do is we're going to select this background here. This is the background we made in the GIMP for the top layer. Well, not the top layer, but you know, the still layer that we impose our videos on top of. Because if we use the regular video, we have some artifact problems where it just doesn't quite look right. Yeah, see, white screen, it doesn't decode MPEG 2. So you got to use a still PNG file. But now it gives you a good idea of where everything is. Grab Title 1, and Title 2, which would be Sintel. So we have Big Buck Bunny and Sintel ready to go. So one of the easiest ways to do this is go to the buttons. There's a lot of buttons here. I like this little triangle one here, even though it doesn't render the circle, just the arrow itself. I said triangle, that's funny. Anyway, you grab that, and we will drag that onto the timeline. There's a little bug there, automatically drags 2 buttons when you drag 1 on the first button. Small bug. There we go, that looks pretty good. So you change it so this one goes to Title 1, and change the other one so it goes Title 2. Then we right click the menu and tell it to loop. That way it plays the animation over and over and over again. And okay. Now we don't have to use those if we want to. We can also use the square, but as you can see, the square draws the animation frame there. What I do is I usually just stretch it out there, right click properties, and tell it image. They'll just make a transparent square, which you can also make that square invisible, but for this tutorial we can leave it there. Stretch out the other one, do the same process. Oh wait, forgot to tell it to Title 2. And there you have it. Now let's render this bad mamma jamma. Oh wait, first drop in the video. Boop. That looks fine. It should work pretty good. Let's render this mamma jamma. one last little tip I'll give you: if you have trouble getting the file size of your DVD, for example, it's far too big to fit on a standard DVD-R, you can always open the ISO with a program called DVD95. It's in the repository and it works really good at shrinking down I won't say losslessly, but without very many artifacts, very quickly, a full ISO image DVD. So that's a good tool to use. Well, this video was a bitch and a half, but we did it. We got through it. Probably rushed a few elements, but feel free to ask any questions either here or on my official website. Hopefully, with a little experimentation, you guys will have this down pat. It didn't take me very long to figure this one out, so yeah, good luck, and thanks for watching, guys.